Hey guys, we're back. This is actually part two, take two, because apparently my computer hates me and wanted to freeze Audacity.
Yeah,
So,
we only have
anyways,
Matt Monopoly computer malfunctions here. One time it ran out of battery. This time it deleted his Audacity recording.
I know, fuck my life, right?
I can only hope that my part two of part two is as good as my part one of part two. I don't know if this makes
We
sense.
had a pretty epic little thing going.
We
But
did.
anyways, back to business. We're just gonna touch quickly back on UFC 118. We want to give a shout out to Corey for writing in. He wrote on the Facebook wall he thought Lozon and Diaz had the best fights of the night. We 100% agree with him. We were talking about it earlier. Lozon basically did a BJJ clinic to just destroy the guy he was fighting. And Diaz, like we said earlier, man, he looks great at welterweight, and he's gonna be a contender, I think, eventually.
Absolutely. Let's jump right into the NFL season opener. It's only a couple days away, buddy.
That's
You got Saints putting up the banner in front of their home crowd against their NFC Championship rivals, Brett Favre and the Minnesota Vikings. You like this game? You like the whole opening game ceremony, the pregame show, the whole hoopla? Or do you think it's just a distraction?
I think it's great. Usually games like if you were watching Sunday, there'd be regional coverage. Not everyone could see what was happening, and to give the champions of the football league a chance to get their rings and raise the banner and all that, and actually be celebrated as champions in front of everyone on national TV. I think it's great, man. It really shows their accomplishment. I think it's really good.
See, I think it's good also. I mean, especially for the people in New Orleans. Like, I
Absolutely.
get, you don't want to throw the whole, oh, Katrina just, it's years ago, stuff like that. People are still recovering down there. You got the whole spill for the BP thing,
Yeah.
whatever it is. A lot of people down there, they like live and die by this team. It's like Red Sox Nation when we weren't winning titles.
Yeah.
Like people were like, "Oh, it's
Many
never
teams
going to
do that.
happen. It's never going to happen." Then it happened. It's like completely euphoric.
hmm
You think there's any added pressure to the home team? Is this like can you come out home flat, lose this game?
I don't think you can. I mean, if you do, it's just bad for the fans. I don't think it's a must-win record-wise. It's week one, but to let down your fans like that, dude, in front of you raising the banner, you're at home, you're the Super Bowl champs. You gotta take care of business. Go one of
Yeah.
them.
See, I think I don't. Again, it's not a must-win for the record, but no. This whole season opener thing with the Super Bowl champions started back in '04 with the Patriots against Indy. That was the game where Indy was driving down. Willie McGinnis got the sack on Peyton from behind, which was awesome.
Such a
Willie
great
McGinnis
game.
was the man, dude.
Oh, he really
He
was.
was
Dude.
awesome. He won't get in the Hall of Fame for NFL, but totally Patriots Hall of Fame
Hopefully,
for
he
sure.
plays Hall of Fame.
But no home team has ever lost this game after a Super Bowl, and you definitely don't want to be the first of anything that's a negative.
Absolutely.
So I think New Orleans, like, it's not a must-win for the record. No team's going to go undefeated except for the '08 Pats, '07 Pats, except for that last game,
Yeah, let's
which
not
we're
talk
not
about
going
that.
to speak of. Who do you like in the game, Matt? You got New Orleans coming back. I think they're going to be good again. No team's ever repeated that division. Then you got Minnesota. Brett Favre decided to come back. AP's there. They lost Chester Taylor. Sidney Rice is going to be out. What do you think is going to happen here?
I'm gonna pick the Saints to win. They have Drew Brees, who, in my opinion, is a top three quarterback in the National Football League. They have a strong offense. Robert Meacham and Devery Henderson and Reggie Bush. They're a really good team, and I think they're gonna take it. They do it for the fans, do it for morale, start out 1-0, and I think it's just theirs.
Yeah, see, I am a huge Brett Favre fan. Love the guy. I think he's awesome. Ideally, I would like, now that, Matt Leinart's not going to get the starting gig in Arizona because he got
Sorry about it,
screwed.
dude. Screwed.
I would like the Vikings to come out of the NFC. They are my team, Vikings, Patriots. Let's do it all the way. But I think New Orleans will win this game. History says the home team is 7-0 right now in these games. I'm not going to
Yep.
be I'm not going to be like, oh, this is the one. Uh,
Probably gonna be the jinx though.
yeah, right. They're going to lose like 37-5. You got a field goal and a safety or something.
Same stat from take.
Oh yeah, I can't ruin that stat. I mean, the team scoring 5 points on an
Love
opener.
it.
That's how we do it. Let's go on to Manny Ramirez. We touched a little bit on it in part one where we were talking the division stats. He just got picked up by the White Sox on waivers. 3.8 mil, I think they have to pay him for the remainder of the year. A 1 month rental. But again, all they gave up is money. Is he worth the headache of, the whole, Manny Ramirez circus, Manny Wood coming to town, stuff like that? I mean, what do you think? Is he worth it?
I think he's worth it if he comes in and does what he's supposed to do. They're taking him out of the field, they put him as DH, and just let him swing that bat. He still is one of the most beautiful swings in baseball. He can still hit the ball a very, very long way. And like you said, they're only 4 games back, so it's not going to hurt him unless there's just a major eruption in the clubhouse and he's in the middle of it, which wouldn't surprise me. But if he can come in, hit a few home runs, get some RBIs out on base, he's definitely going to help this team.
Yeah, I think. See, to me, I think if Manny can make a difference and he can just DH it the whole time, not cause you any liabilities in the field,
absolutely,
he's totally worth it. It's only 1 month. You didn't give up any prospects. You don't have to worry about that, coming back and biting you in the ass. You don't have to, all that stuff is gone. You pay him, the guy, $4 million. If it works, sweet. You make the playoffs, hopefully. Maybe they make an outside shot at the wild card. I think they're a little too far back for that. If it doesn't work, whatever. You live and learn. You lost $4 million, but there's other ways in sports that you could lose $4 million works. Ask the Raiders, Jamarcus Russell.
How's that going for you guys?
Awful.
He can throw 80 yards in his knees. Let's draft him number 1.
He is. I cannot think of a worse draft pick in any sport, except for maybe the Michael Olowokandi thing and the Kwame Brown in the NBA.
That was pretty bad. What about what the fuck is his name? Ryan Leaf.
Oh, Ryan Leaf was really bad. Yeah, he was really. Could you imagine where the Colts would have been? Because they had the first pick that year, and they said it came down to like the last day, and they decided to go with Peyton Manning.
Great.
That's
choice.
like flipping a coin for like $1 billion, because Peyton Manning made that franchise like $1 billion franchise. And Ryan Leaf, I think last I heard, he was facing charges for drug distribution to his high school players.
Yeah.
So Ryan Leaf, we are big supporters, man. Go get him out there, Tiger.
Also, real quick, Sam Bowie over Michael Jordan in that draft.
Yeah, I mean,
how they feeling?
Talk about
how'd that go
jackass.
For you guys?
Let's see, with the Manny thing, do you think he's gonna act up everywhere he goes in Boston? He's gonna take the bat off his shoulders in that final series against the Yankees, which was huge at that point. I think we were only a couple out.
That was a dick.
And then against the Dodgers just a couple days ago, he finally started the game after being on the DL and then not being played that much when he came back. And the first game that Joe Torre puts him in, he stands there, sees one pitch, argues it to the point where he knows he's going to get tossed, and gets tossed, and gets shipped out the very next day. Do you think he's going to keep acting like this?
I hope he doesn't. I don't want to see him become like the TO of baseball and have no team approach him, because he is one tremendous talented player, and I think he can really help this ball club. But one of the things I think that's going to seriously help the Chicago White Sox is that Manny's basically playing for a contract right now. He's a free agent at the end of the year. He needs to show teams that he can still do what he does best, and he's not going to be a little 10-year-old boy and throw little tantrums just to get back at people. If he sticks to doing what he does, swings that sweet bat of his, and hits those home runs, it's going to work out pretty well, I think.
Yeah, see, I mean, the whole Manny thing. I have a friend, Peter, out in California, who actually wrote into our Facebook fan page. Thanks a lot, Peter. He's a huge Dodgers fan out there, so he kind of knows the whole Manny situation and things like that. In his eyes, he saw Manny being a bust, that he wasn't worth the headache, and that he's going to keep acting like this. He said Manny was brought there to win a World Series, and he couldn't produce. Even if he could have gotten them there, great. But you pay a guy $20 million a year, you expect great things from him. Look at A-Rod. I understand A-Rod was struggling in the playoffs, but he finally got the Yankees to that World Series. He didn't choke in the playoffs last year. He wasn't like a detriment to the team. Peter says that, he turned out to be a bust, like I said, and then he said the same thing also, just like the TO, the team's going to shy away from him at one point. The TO thing, for me, honestly, I think this whole offseason taught him a lot. He was out there. He looked like he was being blackballed a little bit. Teams weren't bringing him in, even for interviews. McNabb said he wanted him in Washington, but the Redskins didn't even schedule anything. They didn't want him back in that division.
I think it's a big piece of humble pie, to use a Belichick phrase.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're not a god, TO.
See, I think Manny will act like this, where he goes, just because he doesn't know any better.
Exactly.
I remember when he went back to Cleveland in the first series with the Red Sox, and they were pouring money from the stands and stuff like that. Like, he picked up a piece of the money. Like, I mean, he's just that kind of guy. Like, he's going inside the monster to take a leak, halfway through the game, high-fiving fans after catches against the wall.
Yeah.
Like, that's just Manny Ramirez. in his mind, he doesn't know any better. He doesn't really have that much of a image left in the game. Hall of Fame numbers for sure, but
Absolutely.
the writers get the final vote. Do you think he's tarnishing his image by not taking the bat off the shoulders, by arguing that pitch, whatever?
Well, if they consider it just by numbers, which in my personal opinion they should, then he will be in the Hall of Fame. But they look at integrity both on and off the field, and he is just ruining his chances right now of being the asshole that he is. And if he wants to get in the Hall of Fame, maybe that's that straighten his act up and show that he wants to play baseball and respects the game. And it's such a tradition in America. And a lot of people, don't change this, don't change that. That's why baseball is so much far behind than the other sports are. But he needs to get his act together.
So you're saying baseball's further behind than hockey in U.S.
I
ratings?
don't watch hockey, so I don't know.
U.S.
No,
ratings?
not further behind ratings. I mean technology.
Oh, technology-wise, for sure.
I mean,
Hockey,
like-
they do the goals, they do...
Yeah, exactly.
No, I totally agree with you there. Either way, I cannot wait for hockey. Now, probably the best segment in all of mankind, between radio, TV shows. Oprah has nothing on us. She heard about our celebrity we want to smack status.
Oprah's an
She's
idiot.
retiring after this year. She's
Right?
cutting
She's
the show.
scared of us, man.
She's cutting the show. She's like, I can't compete with these guys that did that just happen. I can't even say the name of our show. I'm so excited.
Right, dude?
Matt, who's bothering you this week? Who do you just want to pick up across the neck and just backhand, forehand, whatever?
If I just smack one person in the face right now, it'd be T.I. He just got arrested Wednesday. Him and his little honey bunny wife over there.
She cute?
Got arrested for. I didn't really get a good look at it. I wasn't paying attention. I was trying to skim the article real quick, but he got arrested for marijuana possession and crystal meth possession. And for those playing the home game, he recently just got out of house arrest and did a few months in jail for weapons possession and shit. And he's on probation, so he's gonna go to jail for a very long time. But what irritates me the most about this is before he was locked up, he did a show called Road to Redemption, where he talked to kids about how if he could change his life, what he would do, how he'd take different steps and make it so he had a better life. And he's preaching to these kids, and he's off being a douchebag with drugs. It's horrible. These are people that kids look up to nowadays, and it's awful.
It's true. It's true. For me, I really didn't know who it was until tonight. Matt and I get together Thursday nights. We watch the Jersey Shore. We go to 7-Eleven. We get some fantastic Slurpees. Our Slurpees got screwed tonight because the blueberry flavor wasn't goddamn working.
Epic fail right there.
Huge fail. So we were watching the Jersey Shore, stuff like that, and I love that show. I pretty much base my week around my Thursday Shore experience. The one person
embarrassing.
in this world right now who's griping me the most is Sammy, quote-unquote, sweetheart. I don't see how this girl's a sweetheart. She sucks. She's the worst person on that show. Last year, Angelina, she left after 3 shows.
That's my girl, dude.
I know
I'm
you
not
love
proud
her,
of
but she left after 3 shows, so we couldn't really get to know her. And the whole Sammy Ronnie thing last year, fine. This year, she's just so annoying. She's tonight Joe asked her to go get a bottle of vodka because the girls were supposed to cook, which was Sammy's idea. She didn't cook anything.
Yep.
She
made a salad.
She did make the salad. And she set the table. I will give her that. I give credit where it's due. But this girl just sucks. She stands there. She dances around. You can take each one of these people, make a branch out show, and I'd watch it. You could get Mike giving the love tips, Vinny giving the bulk up and look awesome tips. Pauly D how to do your hair. Ronnie how to be completely, ridiculous and hook up with grenades and hippopotamuses. Angelina on how to just be the Kim Kardashian of Staten Island. Snooki on how to just be the biggest clusterfuck of all time.
Big idiot.
And JWoww on how to just have the best... This area, the boobies, yes, the chesticles, fantastic, huge fan.
my goodness.
But Sammy does nothing. She just sucks. She bitches about it. She brings down the show, and it pisses me off because I love myself some Jersey Shore.
I'm well aware of this.
We got to wrap it up. We're running out of time. I want to thank Tiffany. Thank you so much for inviting your friends to the site. Corey, Peter, Teresa for writing in. Email us questions, comments. Did that just happen at rockymail.com? Visit the fan page. Build us up. We're trying to get to a certain amount. We're going to try to get some advertisements, stuff like that. Submit some contests, some special offers for our fans. See what we can do with this.
Sir, may I interject for a second? Dan Simler, you are now an administrator. You need to start adding your 1.18 billion friends that you have.
I think it's actually 1.19 billion as of 12 seconds ago. So, Dan Simler, stop being just awesome at jiu-jitsu. Stop being the coolest black belt we know. Invite your damn friends. We got to go. See you next week.
Later, guys.
Bye.